Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming and today's video is sponsored by Dragonheir Silent Gods. Dragonheir is an amazing high fantasy RPG game that I've been in love with for the past year. I've been playing it like a maniac and I'm fortunate enough to be sponsored by them even though I'm already playing this game. So if you want to support the channel or if you want to start playing this game today because it's really awesome, there's going to be a link in the description and in the pinned comment of this video that you can click and download the game today on Android devices, iOS devices, it's even on Mac, and obviously it's on PC, it's on the Epic Game Store, it's on Steam, it's basically everywhere. It has had some pretty good success since its global launch. It was voted #1 in over 13 regions. It had over 10 million downloads in the first 2 months. And it's definitely an eye-catcher. It's a pretty unique game. You know, it combines the gacha system with some other stuff. And honestly, it gives me, it gives me the Diablo plus meets gacha games vibe. And I really love it. So what are you waiting for? Click that link, download the game and start playing today. It also has some really cool stuff happening because the developers are really big Dungeons & Dragons fans. They are actually partnering, to do some collaborations with Dungeons & Dragons. The first installment, which was a few months back, of this collaboration brought Drizzt the Orden as part of the game. He joined the Dragonheir universe. I picked him up actually with a few copies of him, which was pretty awesome. And now today, during this period, we have the Echoes of the Sleepless as an event where you can win Elminster Omar. So Elminster Omar is joining the game. So what are you waiting for? Just download the game today. You definitely want to grab him. If you ever, if you thought about starting playing this game, this is the right time because Elminster Omar is just an amazing support champion. He has an amazing kit. And if you start playing the game and you start pulling on his banner, from the beginning, you should be able to easily get him completely free to play and you're gonna love it. He has shields on the battle skill control immunity. These are massive shields. He has decent damage on the ultimate, brings attack penalty. He has a really good aura, so definitely somebody worth grabbing. So what I'm gonna show you in today's video is gonna be another one of my teams for the Mecha Torque fight, okay? This one's gonna be a little bit of a fun one because it's gonna feature somebody that is, part of the Dungeons & Dragons collaboration. And that's going to be Drizzt the Orden, okay? So he's gonna be one of the main events, but also we're gonna have in there somebody that, again, I never liked, I underrated him, but he's really amazing, and that's gonna be Trollgar. So this is the team that I'm gonna be using today. I'm gonna have Garius in the team. That's going to be my healer and, shielder because of the staff. Then I'm going to have Pargu, which I already made a video on. I showed him. He's amazing. He's, again, one of the worst epics in the game from my point of view, but he's God tier for this fight because of the kit that he brings. A ton of debuffs, which means the boss will take so much more damage. Then we have in there Rava. She's going to be the Frost Applier, okay, on her ultimate. That also, she's going to be also the Witch's Remains person because she hits, she just hits a ton of times. How many times does it say? 10 seconds, 1.5. So she hits 6-7 times, which means you're pretty much guaranteeing to land the Witch's Remains in there. Then as DPS, we do have, like I said, Drizzt the Orden. He's just a beast. Like, the damage he does is just crazy. And then we also have Trollgar, which again, he's a really awesome damage dealer. I'm going to show you all the builds at the end. I'm just going to show you the presets first because these are pretty important. So let me see. I think I can actually push them a little bit further because of the way that the stuns happen. But you want to have Rava going first at 12 seconds. So after the magic projectiles drop, you want to do this one to land, start landing frost and defense penalty. Then after that, you want to have Drizzt going. You want to have Drizzt going before Trollgar because he's going to ignore defense for, when there's going to be frost out there. And then Trollgar last because he's going to dispel all the frosts. So that's why you want to keep Drizzt going first because if he goes after, he's not going to be doing that ignore defense, which means you're going to be losing out on damage. The most beautiful thing about this fight is the fact that it's full auto, okay? So it is full auto, but if you're trying to do this team and you're not quite reaching the damage, and that not because you don't have the artifacts, because if you don't have the Witch's Remains, unfortunately the damage is just not going to be the same, because that Witch's Remains, that defense penalty is just huge. But if you have everything else the same and you see that you're not quite doing the damage, then manual it, okay? Manual the fight. Make sure that you always use Rava's ultimate to hit all the 6 projectiles. Same thing with Drizzt and same thing with Trollgar, because on full auto, the way that they do their skills, you're gonna see again right now, the way that they do it, see, they don't hit the one in the corner. She does it, she hits them and the boss. Drizzt, same thing, she hits those ones not in the corner. Then Trollgar, same thing. Trollgar, they do not hit the one in the corner. I guess that's just the way that the AI is working because they want to try hitting the boss as well, but you're obviously losing out on a little bit of damage because of that. Maybe like, I don't know, it might be like a 10 million, 15, 20. I don't know 100%, but it is, you know, it can be a considerable amount of damage if you're trying to hit that 200 million, but you're not quite getting there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna keep you here to watch the whole fight. I'm just gonna, you know, come back at the end after the fight is over. We're gonna look at the damage that we did. I'm gonna show you the builds and we're gonna see what this is all about. I love this team. It's just a really fun team. But I guess we're gonna see you at the end. So see you in a bit. Okay, so we're back towards the end. As you can see, we passed the 200 million threshold. People start dropping after a certain while, depending on the RNG, you know. Might need to tank up a couple of people. Also, if Parkour does, like, if he never lands the attack penalty, then yeah, people will start dying. However, still past that 200 million, which is kind of the goal for these fights, because after you hit 200 million, you only deal 10% of damage. Like, the boss takes 90% less damage, so you don't really care about going crazy that much, unless you have a, you know, cracked account and you can hit 250 million, even with that damage mitigation. But this was a pretty fun fight. I definitely liked it. If you check a little bit the damage out there, you can see that Drizzt and Trollgar are neck and neck. Drizzt did a little bit more because he survived more. So definitely a fun one. Like, the priority is obviously these two. Rava did a little bit, but she had attack penalty. So let's have a look at the builds now, because I already showed you the presets, just so you can see what I actually had on the people. I think most of them are ice. So let's start from the, I guess let's start with the one that's not ice. So Gyarius is an amazing support. You just want on him as much defense as you can because he's going to be in ancestral protection. He's going to soak up some of the damage, but you want lots of defense so he has bigger heals on his ultimate, okay? That's really important. Also, I gave him close to 300 resist because I don't want it to get stunned. Once you're past the 50% point, which is what we did, you get stunned and you don't want it to be stunned. You want him to go as often as possible to keep healing in there. And if you have Gatekeeper staff, it's mandatory. Like, this one gives you some massive shields, which is going to help with your survivability. Without this one, you might need to bring something else in the team to keep you alive, like maybe a second healer, a more consistent attack penalty or something like that. But if you have Gatekeeper staff, definitely go for it. That's amazing. Then the other one that we had in there was, which one was it? Was it Rava? Yes, Rava. Okay, Rava gave her the accuracy to land the Witch's Remains, and then I tried to give some damage. But she keeps dying, so maybe it would be better to like make her a little bit tankier. Gave her the Inventor set because I did not have better options to try and make her do some damage, so Inventor is what she ended up with. Then the other one that I used was Pargu. Like I said, he was just in there to enable stuff. So gave him the right accuracy to land his debuffs, gave him the Crown of the Unclean. Again, it counts as a different debuff than the Witch's Remains, which means another 10% damage increase for your whole team. And then I gave him as much HP as I could and gave him the Mona Lisa set to try and support the people and try and bring some extra healing, you know, alongside Gyarius to try and support the team. Then when it comes to the DPS, let's start with Trollgar. Okay, so Trollgar was in an Emperor's Might. This is the best set that you can use for this fight, especially it's mostly because of the magic projectiles. They have a lower attack threshold, so you're gonna do a ton more damage with this one compared to any other set in the game. So I have him at 88% crit rate, 200% crit damage, 4.9k attack, and I gave him the Famiander artifact from last, I think it was, no, this is the Pillar of Char artifact from Season 1, the Hero's Trophy, which gives me more attack and then gives me a stack of attack that keeps going up and down, up and down. It's the best thing that I noticed worked on him. It worked better than the Eyeball for me. But if you don't have this one, go with the Eyeball of the Giant because that's going to bring a ton more damage for his ultimate. And then the Man of the Hour, the one that's kind of like, you know, the whole video was showcased around, even though it's a full team in there. Drizzt, though, then I do have him Inspired 3, so yeah, I'm aware of that. I run him at 99% crit rate, 193 crit damage, 5.4k attack. I gave him the Ravatrix's roots just for a little bit of extra survivability instead of the Eyeball. Normally I would have liked Eyeball or the Hero's Trophy, but want to give him this one to get a little bit more HP because, like I said, we don't have a consistent attack penalty, so we might die a bit earlier. But he's also running in Emperor's Might, and then, you know, he's just smashing along doing that crazy damage. But I think we're gonna leave it at this for today, guys. Thank you all for watching, and again, thank you Dragonheir Silent Gods for sponsoring today's video. And for those of you that want to support the channel, or if you want to start playing the game today because you enjoyed these amazing graphics, there's gonna be a link in the description and in the pinned comment of this video that you can click and download the game today on Android devices, iOS devices. It's even available on Mac. Obviously, it's available on PC. It's on the Epic Games Store. It's on Steam. It's everywhere. So what are you waiting for? Join the D&D Legends in Dragonheir and join me in Dragonheir, because I'm going to be playing this game for a while because I love it. But anyway, we're going to leave it at this. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care everyone. Bye guys.